if you can just explain a little bit more about the program, because as I understand it, it's intended to be fairly holistic, and one of its aims is to actually keep families together, which has a spin-off benefit, and that is that we're not returning children to the child protection system, but we're actually protecting them in place with their mother and keeping them safe from harm in terms of domestic violence perpetrators or other family members that have been difficult. So I'd just like to hear a bit more about, I suppose, the holistic value of the program.
Sure. So when we opened back in 2018, we were the only centre in Queensland that took a mother who had a substance use disorder and her child. So at that time, the only option a mother or a parent had was to relinquish their child to get residential treatment. So we opened in 2018. We got a lot of referrals from child safety, a few through mental health as well. And often we would go and pick the mother up from detox, and then we'd go to the foster care home and pick the child up from foster care and then bring them both back to Grace Homestead together. In terms of treatment, the mother received four days of group therapy per week. So, we're based on evidence-based gold standard for mental health, domestic violence and substance use treatment. So the children would go off to daycare or to school while their mother received treatment, and then come back home, and we would encourage them to play and to, connect with their child. The mothers also received individual psychological care as well. And we had a what we call a Kids Connect program, which is based on the circle of security concepts. So I guess, what we know over the past few decades is that removing children from their parents to intervene isn't working. We know that mothers are too scared to reach out for help because they don't want their child to be removed. And we know that mothers with substance use disorders often can't get a bed in a domestic violence shelter. So if she's in a domestic violent relationship, they often exclude mothers who have an active substance use disorder, so they're stuck in that dangerous relationship. So I guess what we're doing is addressing, all of those different factors in one centre. And, we're doing that in a holistic way. We're doing it in an evidence-based way, and we're collecting data to make sure that, what we're doing is working.
The research shows us that in terms of minimising the detrimental effect of children being separated from their mothers, a reunification program that establishes that contact, that permanency within 6 months is the model that it causes the least long-term damage. So when we talk about stigma and those types of ongoing problems that develop in childhood and go into adulthood, a reunification plan that gets mothers into a treatment as early as possible in a way that helps her children be reunified with her is the most beneficial. The problem is that the timeline for treatment for the mother is usually about 12 months. So what we want is for the child to be reunified with her as quickly as possible. So within that 12-month period where she needs to be treated, we need an active system that allows her child to be reunified with her immediately.
Almost a year you have with people, and so your program works through things like housing, employment, budgeting, a whole range of other parenting skills as well, I imagine.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of parenting programs we run. So we ran the Circle of Security program, so teaching parents about attachment, bonding with their children, and then like a really simple Triple P basic parenting skills program. And, parents would come to us with absolutely no idea of how to connect with their child, no idea how to keep their house clean or keep their house safe. And we were able to show them those skills. And not only within therapy, but also because we were a 24-hour centre, the support workers could, follow through. And when a parent was having a meltdown at dinner time, she's got 2 kids, both crying, dinner's on stove, that's where the rubber meets the road. That's where they need the support to be able to put their new skills into practice.